What's up, people? YouTube, sumophlux here. I'm gonna do a quick overview slash benchmark of the new PC I just built. The goal of this PC is streaming, so it's not built for surround sound. It's not built for 4K. It's just mainly meant for 1080p and fast. And with the ability, if need be, I can stream using the same PC that I'm playing with. If not, I do have my second PC, so I'm setting up a 2 PC stream, so it won't be as intensive on this PC. But for now, let's get into it, and I'll talk about some of the components, and then we'll do a quick benchmark of it using the 3D Mark software and see how it performs. So, we'll start with the base, the motherboard. I went with the ASUS P8Z77-V LX motherboard. The reason I went with this motherboard is because it does accept the EVGA 1155 CPU, which I am running an EVGA 1155 CPU, so I needed that. I also like the BIOS of the ASUS and the overclocking capabilities of this motherboard. I didn't need any of the new Z99 chipset or anything like that, so this is a good option for me, and I would recommend it for anybody building a PC right now. And for the CPU, we went with the Intel Core i7-3770K. This CPU is awesome because it's unlocked, meaning you can overclock it. It's 3.5 gigahertz, quad core, multi-threading, so from the factory, it's pretty fast anyways. I don't foresee myself having to overclock it here with any games out currently. Maybe with some of the games listed to come out, if you look at some of the specs like on Far Cry 4 and stuff like that, which their specs are insane for that anyways. But yeah, I mean, for right now, this out of the box standard clock is just fine. Alright, and for the RAM, I went with a Corsair Vengeance DDR3 1600 speed RAM. I went with that because you don't really see too much gains in gaming when you go with anything faster. Like if you go to the 1800, 2100, 2300, yada yada. So I went with 1600 speed. I went with 8 gigs, which is plenty enough for gaming right now. I may need to upgrade in the future, but I can just buy another 8 gig kit and be at 16 gigs, which will be more than you'll ever need in gaming until I'll have to build a new PC anyways. So that's why I went with this RAM. And I went with an SSD to put my OS on, and also some smaller files that I use every once in a while. I went with 120 gig Kingston SSDNOW 300 series SSD. For any of you guys out there who don't have your operating system on an SSD, I highly recommend it. It makes your boot times way faster. It's insane. The time savings with this, if you shut down, because I shut down my PC every night. I know some people that don't, but I do every night. So the boot time on this thing is amazing. I highly recommend that for anybody who doesn't have that set up already. And then we'll go with CPU cooler, the Corsair H90 liquid, single rad, single 140mm fan. The only issue I have with this right now is my case is a bit too small. So with a single rad that's super thick, I kind of have it ghetto rigged right now. So it's that's why I'm not showing you guys any pictures of the finished product yet. We'll just do a benchmark and let you guys imagine what it looks like until I get a better case, and then we can I'll put up a video of it. But yeah, this CPU cooler has worked amazingly. In all the stress tests that I've performed so far, it's kept the CPU cool and everything with the sides on the case and being fully enclosed. So yeah, I would highly recommend this for anybody who's looking to go the liquid CPU cooling route. For the power supply, I went again with another Corsair. I went with the HX750 semi-modular. Semi-modular just means that the 24-pin and 8-pin power supplies coming out of it are hardwired. The 2 connections you make to your motherboard essentially. Everything else you just plug in as you need to the power supply, and then whatever you're trying to power. So having a semi-modular power supply definitely cleans up your PC a lot. like, I mean, you can either go full modular or semi-modular. I don't really see the point in going full modular because you're going to run a 24 pin and 8 pin anyways. So running a semi-modular where your 24 and your 8 pin are hardwired, I don't see an issue with that. But I definitely recommend some sort of modular power supply if you're trying to build something that you going to show off a little bit and you want a nice clean like cable management inside of your case. And for the graphics card, the big bad, the EVGA GTX980 superclocked. This thing is a tank, like unbelievable, and it runs super cool with ACX 2.0 cooling. Like, I've had no issues with all the benchmarks, all the stress tests I've done with it. It's like fairly quiet. It doesn't take very much power at all compared to like your older GTX 780s, 780 Ti, stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend. I mean, they're still a little pricey because it just came out, and they're kind of on, like, this one was on back order, so I had to wait a little while to get it. But I would highly recommend the GTX 980 over the 780 and 780 Ti, mainly from power consumption. It's so much more efficient, and it's just like the pathing in it and everything else. It's just all around. I mean, it's a newer graphics card, so you expect it to be a little bit better. Like it's just insane how cool, and the power draw this thing has is like minimal. It's ridiculous. But like I said, now we're going to get into a benchmark of it using the 3D Mark program. I haven't done it using the 3D Mark program yet, so we'll experience this together, and hopefully the computer doesn't put me down any, shows up like it should. So you guys, I won't embarrass myself in front of you guys, but we'll get into that right now. Let's do it. Alright, and here we are in the 3D Mark software. We're going to be running the Firestrike benchmark. It is a single GPU PC setup benchmark. So here we go. And like I said, this is the first time I've ran this benchmark, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we will see. And I'm sure, as you guys know, it'll look way better on my screen than it will through my capture card. As my capture card right now is only recording at 30 FPS, so you guys will definitely see a few more glitches and slightly less frames than what it's actually producing and I'm seeing on my monitor. But we'll just have to live with that for now until I can get my capture card all stabilized and set up correctly. But here we go, the demo. It does look really good. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad for you guys, as you guys are seeing it through my capture card, which I'm using the AverMedia Live Gamer Pro HD capture card. This is a pretty cool little demo that they do. I don't even think this is really part of the benchmark. This is just kind of showing off the actual 3D Mark program and what they do to the benchmark it to test the graphics and the physics engines and stuff of your computer. But it does do a couple graphics tests, and I think it does a physics test, maybe 2 physics tests, and then it'll do like a combined with the graphical test and a physics test all at once at the end. I really don't know how long this takes. I probably should have done it before I shot the video, but I want it to be the first time I did it, so I'd be surprised at the results as you guys. Alright, and here we go with the graphics test 1. Let's see how this works out. Oh, we got a nice little FPS tracker on the bottom. Shows you your frame number that you're currently on and the time you've been doing this test. So graphics test 1. That's cool. It's a nice little feature. So you don't have to run like a secondary program to monitor your FPS and actually be able to display it. And the reason I've shown the whole video is this, so people have doubts that I'm not testing my computer or if it's not, you know, legit. You guys know it is. But here we go. Graphics test number 2. Let's see. Well, it was like the demo took forever, but the tests aren't. It doesn't seem like the tests are taking that long. I guess that's a good thing. This video is already quite lengthy. Oh, I'm pleased with the FPS I'm maintaining so far. As I said, you guys are probably seeing it a little bit less pristine than what I'm seeing on my monitor, but you guys can see the FPS tracker at the bottom and see the FPS that I'm maintaining. Even though clearly through my capture card and then through YouTube as well, the quality will not be nearly as good as what it actually is that I'm actually seeing right now. Alright, so there we go. That's the graphics test 2 and the physics test. Apparently there's only one physics test, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I see how it's testing the physics. This is a pretty intense test right here. As you can tell, my FPS has dropped quite a lot. And we have the combined test. So combine both the graphics test and the physics test together. See how the GPU, CPU, everything handles that combined. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell it's a combined test. Look at that, a whopping 20 frames per second. This is pretty intense though. Alright, well that was a short one. And here we go with the results. Oh, it takes you right to their website. Alright. Oh, and my graphics drivers are not up to date. I haven't downloaded the most recent ones from EVGA yet. As you can see, we scored in the 96th percentile on this test, which is really good for standard clock, not having any overclocking on this PC. So I'm definitely pleased with the 96th percentile. Once I overclock it, it should go up a little bit. And then as you scroll down here, you can see the clock speed and memory and everything of the graphics card itself right here. And then below that, we have the CPU, the clock on it and stuff like that, number of cores, stuff like that, and then my general system specifications. But yeah, so if you guys like this video and this benchmark, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading more tech related stuff, some reviews on some other peripherals that I have, and then some game reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Be safe guys, and we'll see you guys later.